Gene, even though you allege President Trump indeed raped you, you don't feel like a victim?
The word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt.
Most people think of rape as a, violent act.
Most people think of rape as being sexy.
Ooh, I think we're gonna take a commercial break.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Welcome to the BenBen Show. I'm your host. Yeah, all right. You crazy for this one, Rick? It's your boy, BenBen. Yeah. Sorry. Antistalker.com for men. Lines to repel women made just for men. New sponsor of the show. Let's check it out here. This is for when you first meet a girl that's trying to transition from the friend zone to something more. Just wants to clearly jump on you, but she doesn't know how to do it. This is how you get met. Are you walking back alone to your car later? Let's meet up. Okay. This is all part of the trial period. They get better once you sign up for the $79.99 per month. This is for kind of 3 months into the relationship. You meet the mother for the first time, the parents. I really enjoyed having lunch with your mother. Oh, highlight of my week. Six Flags, nothing. Nothing compared to lunch today. Watercress salad, excellent. But your mother, she hasn't aged well. I don't really see this lasting more than 6 months. Why don't we say we, have sex one more time and call it a day? All right? I like that one. That one's solid. Let's go to number 3. This is for, again, really early on, a girl that's trying to break the friend zone thing, and it's just, you want to let her know that you're basically crazy. Get wired up to her. I want to have you for dinner. I'm sorry. A bit off-putting, right? I would like us to have dinner together. I don't want to eat you. No. No. It's crazy. Well, that would be weird. It's cannibal. I could get some sort of disease from that, right? No. Let's go get some steaks. I like that one. That's a good one. Another sponsor of the show, Skylift by Tom Cruise. Imperceptible heel lifts for men, designed by Tom Cruise to give you a little bit more altitude on that date of yours. I have to say, I really like that product. I don't need it. I'm 6'6" and incredibly handsome. But every other guy that I see that really says that, if only I was an inch taller, which is completely ludicrous and not an inch, you need at least 7. You're 5'8", Jesus, raise that shit up, man. I actually go down. I'm 6'6", but I feel I'm so tall, and I like to avoid the basketball questions. I just say I'm 6'4". I think it's perfect. Christopher Reeves, what do you do? Oh, I play water polo on the weekends. Oh, of course you do. Yeah, I know. It's kind of pretentious, and it's not so much yeah, I'm just one of the boys, I'm extra special, tall, and I do weird, pretentious sports. What does that mean? Well, it basically means, the women that say, he's smart, really all they're saying is, he knows how to make money. It's just a weird little way of saying that, he's capable of providing. It's just a nature, nurture, practical, primal thing, and they just use that to obscure some sort of gold-digging precedent that's kind of self-inflicted. It's I just want someone to take care of my kids so that when my hips get big after I get pregnant, they don't starve. That's all. No big deal. It's just the way life is. Okay, fair enough. So the water polo thing helps. Also, if you throw in polo, it's a little extensive. You want to leave that for later on. Polo is more of it's too obvious. It's 4 months into the relationship, you're like, well, no, actually my friends are organizing a ski trip to Cortina this weekend. So if you want to go, it'd be great. Yeah. If you don't know how to ski, I don't know what to tell you. I guess maybe playing polo next month and in Wellington, Florida. Are you down? You know how to play polo, right? Oh, I didn't tell you I play polo? Oh yeah. You haven't seen me on ralphlauren.com? Huh. Interesting. It's not a bad one. I like that one. Let's see what else we got going on here today. Oh, speaking of hose, Tom Cruise's hose that wore flats. Didn't wear flats. Should have worn flats. Scientology, shit on that. This girl, from the album cover, the Vampire Weekend classic album. Classic album, great band. I could have seen them when I was at Georgetown University. They were at my friend's house, and they ended up, I don't know. I don't know what I was doing, drinking somewhere else, and saying, no, this is not important because they don't care about me, and I don't care necessarily about a group of drunk men that are hitting on one of my friends that happens to be a girl. I'll let them carry on with that, she can carry on with that, and I will continue on doing what I'm doing, which is probably trying to hit on someone else. Even though I really like their music, I don't want to suck their dick or give the impression that I am a fanboy, because that's relatively unattractive. That's one thing about fandom. People think that if they tell their favorite person in the world, their superstar, celebrity fave, hey, I just want to let you know that I think that what you did in that movie was amazing. You were just great. You were so good. But now that you know that I know that you know that I exist and that I appreciate your work, you love me now. Now we're going to be friends. That type of thing, it's so weird, but it does happen. It happens in my head all the time. I had that with Kristen Ritter, the OD girl from Breaking Bad, and Chloe from Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. I love that character. I love the borderline crazy shit. I don't know that she played it as borderline, but that's the point. Like she doesn't care. She has a child. She's married. If I meet her in an elevator, I have a reoccurring daydream, where she hits me in the face with pie by accident. Like she's carrying a cake out of a bakery and just falls into me or something. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, because that's one of those things where the conversation is in with, oh, sorry about that. Sorry, my child spilled chocolate milk in your vicinity and it touched your shoe. No, this is you have to reconcile, right? What can I do? Can I go buy your cake? I'll buy your, no. I want you to go have a drink with me at a time of my choosing next couple weeks for 10 or 15 minutes. One drink, I'll buy, but I want you to do it in character as Chloe. That sex-crazed, borderline crazy psycho bitch from that show that should have been on TV and should have been continued, but was canceled after second season because people have this problem. This goes to the, what is the terminology in writing for television? It's the problem with originally Arrested Development was canceled because people didn't understand the show exclusive of the previous episodes. You have to watch the previous episodes to understand what's going on in the next one. Whatever that continuation is. Oh, I forget there's a word for it. I can't think of it right now. Because I've written for TV. I think that's kind of pathetic that I don't know, but it's okay. Yeah, great show. I'd like her to do that. She'll probably say no. But also, it goes to the whole thing. She's married. She has a child. She doesn't care about me. What? I am tall. She is 5'10". That could be something. You don't know. Divorce rates in this country? Oh my God. It's laying an egg. You don't know. Still waiting for Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell to get over themselves, but I don't know. I don't know if Goldie still looks the way she did when I had a thing. Michelle Pfeiffer, oh my God, still hit that so hard. Are you kidding me? You think I'm not gonna for our anniversary, my birthday, you think she's not gonna put on the Catwoman suit from Batman Returns? Are you kidding? Of course she is. Meow. Fuck yeah. God. There's a music video. I don't know how the kids did it. They must know her. Dance Anymore by Is Tropical. She's in that video. The video's premise is a kid jacking off to her. Like a cartoon version. How do you get, hey, can you like to be in this music video? What's the premise? Oh, it's just a song called Dance Anymore. You're just in it for the very beginning where you tell the pool boy, by the way, just clean this, in French, by the way, which is really cool. She knows French. And you just like, hey, by the way, clean the pool, and thank you very much. And the pool boy, like, you leave. That's it. That's it, Michelle. Can you do that? Sure. That's the video? Well, that's your part. Okay. And actors kind of like read their lines. They don't really care about much else. And that's kind of like what it could have been. They may not have like told her what it was, but I think it would have been really cool if it's like she knew. So you're gonna like create an avatar version of me, and the main character in the music video is gonna jack off to me the entire time. Okay. And I even think that kid, it's one of the kids. It looks like one of the kids from Stranger Things on Netflix. Like that's the kid jacking off. The kid with like the dark hair, and he has a band. He has a good cover of Oh Baby, Oh Yeah Yeah, Oh Baby. I'm not gonna sing. Mark DeMarco's song. You're making me crazier, and that's alright with me. Really no fuss, as long as you're my kind of woman. I like that song, My Kind of Woman. That's what it is. Oh God, it's a good song. Let's continue. Fucking A, man. Oh my God. I keep hitting my notes here with my like. I'm just like, let's continue, and it just goes to the bottom. So I apologize. Oh, this is really good. Let's watch this video right here. Let's play it. Trump and Melania. Trump's on the tarmac here, see? Talking about terrorists, whatever the fuck he's talking about. Look at her. Look at Melania. Put it right there. She looks like she wants to have sex with me, or whoever's watching, or the cameraman, like on site. What is that look? He's the president of the United States. It's ridiculous. Look at her. Oof, just like the. Do I have a glove? There we go. I think there's a thing like. Can we? How's that? That's better. That's all right. There's a thing like when women get their lips done, where it's like hard to close, or there's this like they're constantly avoiding. Like there's like all this weight here, and it kind of creates the Donald Duck thing. They're like, and they're kind of like always aware of that, so they're always like pulling it back, like. And it kind of looks like I'm waiting for a penis to enter my mouth. It just hasn't happened yet. I don't know. No tie today, by the way. The suit, see? Sills, can you see that? Play the clip. Play the clip. The Monaco Steakhouse from Wall Street.
Buy a decent suit. You can't come in here looking like this. Just go to Morty Sills, tell him I sent you.
Yeah, real tailor. I know. Same shit, man. Go to Morty Sills and tell him Gordon Gekko sent you, motherfucker. Get off that fucking Men's Warehouse shit. God damn. It's all about tailoring, motherfucker. I actually have to get all my. I've lost so much weight and have this 8-pack. Oh God, it's so brutal. My life's so complicated, you know. But I have to get them all tailored because my suits are just a little bit, you know. And it's this weird thing. I haven't really, decided what I want to do with that. My future tailoring. So I'm 6 foot. I have to get my suits made for me, and it's sad because my tailor, it's like he's gonna know that I'm not going to him. Maybe people will start talking, Maybe the tailoring community will be like, "What? He's cheating on you? Oh my God!" And it's not like the girl community where they're catty bitches like, "Oh my God, he's dating Stephanie." And then that girl that says that has a threesome with Stephanie and your boyfriend, right? Like she just doesn't care, but she says like she's compassionate. Or she's the one sucking his dick and she's like, "Oh my God, he's cheating on you? With who? Have you found out?" Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm texting. Huh? No, just someone. I'm just meeting up with someone later. Yeah, that's, I just worry. Then they start like intentionally fucking up my suits. So, like, There's nothing worse too, by the way, than like getting the shirts made for you that you don't like. I went to a guy that made shirts, and he was it was like Paris shirt maker maybe in New York, one of like very famous shirt maker, right? That does like tons of people, from people on Broadway to Wall Street executives. And they have guys that spend $40,000 in shirts a year. It's like all these shirts, you know, it's like a 200 made or something, $200 a pop, which is the discount. They're probably like 400 each. Anyway, 2 a day maybe. That's what they want to wear, or 4 a day. Some crazy thing. I don't know. So they were like, I was like, I have this little boxy. It's like, well, you're gonna wear a jacket over, so it doesn't matter. I'm like, then why am I here? I want it to be like a bit more slimming, so I can not wear it with a jacket because I want to wear it in the weekend. So I have to like separate tailored shirts for fun and tailored shirts for work. It's fucking annoying. Theoretically, you kind of have to do that because normally a shirt's supposed to be a little bit longer for when you tuck it in. I don't even want to deal with that shit. You ever had your suits done like your dinner jackets? You like have something like a Borelli or Brioni. God, I get confused. I'm sorry. It's pathetic. Brioni. They have this weird shirt that you wrap it and it buttons underneath your balls just to keep everything straight. You know, so like it's like the back end goes up your ass. It's basically a thong for men, but it's a shirt. It's for formal wear, and it keeps everything straight. So it doesn't like when you get up from the table and the shirt kind of pulls a little bit from your waist, and then like you have to retuck a little bit. No, you have to worry about that because you have a button shirt. This is like caressing against your perineum. It's great. Whoever created that, genius. Did it again with the fucking computer. I'm sorry, I have to scroll up. Oh my God. Just notes. I'm just talking. I don't have to go by my notes. But I do have some things I really want to talk about today. Oh, yeah. Subway. Did you know that there is so much sugar in Subway's bread that the FDA has said that it cannot legitimately, legally, publicly, legally in print be called bread? Too much sugar. Which I think is really not that big of a story, considering just a few years ago, the FDA also said that the same shit that's in yoga mats is in the bread at Subway to keep the shape. You know, like press down and memory foam, whoop, back up. Like the rising commercials. It's basically just weird polymer plastic shit in the bread that has too much sugar in it now. Kind of like Quiznos, like how like toasty it is. I don't really care that if it's, you know, has yoga mat shit in it. It's so crispy and good, warm. Subway's kind of boring though. Like it's not that exciting. Quiznos is like a better everything that comes too commercial loses its quality, but also loses its panache. Once Jared left, I just didn't care for it anymore. Say what you will about that decision making, but I don't know. Alex Jones was on the Joe Rogan show just the other day. I think that was interesting. 90% of what he says actually is true, despite what the media does to condemn him and deplatform him, give him no way to make the money he used to make. It's really sad. Like, if someone really is so dangerous, like, let him be public in every way so as to have the media just destroy him and he's just completely discredited. But instead, it's not really the case that he's always wrong and making stuff up. It's that he's saying things that are against like the narrative of mainstream media that a lot of people don't like, that have a lot of money and that are very powerful. And they're trying to hurt him from continuing his business. 90% of what he says, like the vaccine thing involving Bill Gates and Somalia and the kids getting polio from it, it's true. 100% true. UN story. It's not from him. He's just reiterating that. It's a true story. Kids got polio from a polio vaccine. What the fuck? Or it was a COVID vaccine. They got polio from it. Something like that. It's just true. It's just, but it was discredited. He was discredited, but it's true. 90% of the shit he says is true. That other 10% is like L. Ron Hubbard on acid. You know, like the school shooting thing at Sandy Hook. You know, it was fake. It was a false flag. I actually think he probably still believes that, but he just, you know, There's that one father though going up to the camera. He's like, you know, he's like, he's like this. Oh, are we about to start? Okay. My daughter. It was so weird. I was like, what the fuck? That was weird. You can take that out of context. People react to things differently. I don't know. I'm sure I've been criticized when I've reacted to certain things. Oh. Purple Haze. Bang. Can I get a sponsorship? I'm going to post this for Bang. This is lovely. Purple Haze. Also, your new flavor, Sour Heads, lovely. You gotta just flip it up. And then everything can be fruity. The other side can't be like, the whole cotton candy thing isn't my bag. Rainbow unicorn, a little crazy. Skittles, little nuts. Purple Haze, which actually might have been my favorite form of pot. The pot. I'm not a big pot guy. It's just, you know, I have shit to do, you know? So, meth. Anyway, let's keep going. Yes. Referencing the opening of the show. A federal judge has denied the Justice Department's attempt to intervene in Jean Carroll, the writer's defamation lawsuit. So Trump's defending himself from the sexual assault allegations from the 90s that he pulled her into a dressing room or something and assaulted her. Which she kind of, as you can tell from the opening, she's said some weird, odd things about it. Forced Anderson Cooper there, it wasn't actually me interviewing her, to go to commercial. But because he made statements regarding defending himself as the President of the United States, he was trying to have the Justice Department basically pay for his legal defense in the rape allegations, which are unfalsifiable, like all these leftist allegations, or whatever, subjective, the Me Too movement. A lot of these are just, there's no defending it. There's nothing you can do. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, who cares? He has to pay for it, pull it out of pocket. Some people have been upset with Trump about the emoluments clause, like the president can't profit from his office. There's a strange thing. Cats, windows. Okay, that's what's happening. Right? Doors open. Maybe I should close that. There's a strange thing where Trump has entities, business entities, like his Trump Hotels, Trump Enterprises, whatever, Trump World, all these like separate tranches that may take money. He had some sort of summit with Xi Jinping, I think, at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, in Palm Beach, and he billed the U.S. government for that, which is like a very small amount of money, like $8 million overall, I think. But some people say that's technically he's benefiting from it by proxy. By proxy he is, not himself, the business entity. As the head of my trust fund told me millions of times when I was a child, Andrew, it's the trust's money, not yours. Who's the beneficiary, asshole? Who's the beneficiary? You. Doesn't matter. It's a separate business. It's an LLC. It's a limited partnership, whatever they were. There were a bunch of them. Terrible. Ugh. I'm trying to think, what's more like conservative for my hair, for like a show? Does that look good? I like it kind of messy. I'm very like, I don't know. Do you want to continue the show like that? I'm not doing my fucking hair. Let's continue the show like this. All right. Let's continue like this. Yeah. No. The door. Yeah, I can work with this. All right, that's good. I squint the eyes a little bit. My eyebrows are fucked because my hairdresser is with his boyfriend in their third. Oh, it's still in Mexico. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Jean Carroll accused Trump of raping her in the dressing room of a Manhattan department store more than 2 decades ago. Dennis Hoffman's personal assistant accused him of grabbing her ass, exiting a car or something 35 years ago. Jesus. The ones are a bit more legitimate. Anything related to Brett Ratner, 100% true. I once saw a girl that he was with at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Yumsies. Just like walking, trailing behind him, just like kind of probably does as she's told, right, on her phone. Like, I just gotta suck his dick. He's gonna give me $2,000. I'm just kidding. He made his money through his godfather in Palm Beach, Florida, and the mafia is involved, and there's interesting stories there. He has a cool background. I don't know. I'm sure he's not. I mean, he was nice. He talked to me. I don't know. Whatever. Trump denied the allegations. Let's move on. It's just nothing there. It's like these rape allegations. I don't know. Like okay, why is it happening now? Why didn't you do this when he was a billionaire? Oh wait, he was a billionaire when you raped. Like why? You get what I'm saying? Like why does it always seem to happen in like these groupings? And why is he racist when he's president but not before when he's dating black women and he's anti-Semitic but his daughter's dating a Jewish man married to a Jewish. It's just like what, dude? Come on. He had a homeless woman living in one of his casinos. Why is it always? He wasn't a threat. Friends with the Clintons. Now he's awful. 24/7, awful. Creating this like constant element of the American dream and working hard, whereas Biden's saying, no, everything's hard for you because of your skin color and your sex organs, and you need money from the government. We need to take more from the taxpayers and give it to you guys, thereby undermining the very essence of your ability to gain wealth for yourself. But you don't know that because you know nothing about money yet. It's okay, you're a millennial. But yeah, that's where we're living. It's very scary times. And I think there is a power grab going on because of the technological advancements in this country. If anything, it's abundantly clear. You can look at the gross bookings for Uber in 2019 were 65 billion. 47 billion of that was from rideshare. The rest was like mainly from the Uber Eats. And of that, of that 47 billion, they made like 12 billion, I think it was, $12 billion of gross, and that turned into negative net income because of costs. And the main reason for that is the $65 billion of gross bookings. The way Uber works is they work as an agent, and basically the driver gets all the money. And then they pay a fee to Uber. Uber only gets 25%. They act as like a bulletin board for connecting drivers and customers. They only get 25% because of the driver. 75% of that profit, 75% of $65 billion. Oh. I did some math on that. If they got 80% of the billion, I think they'd net 34 billion a year in net income. Yeah. That's assuming no additional cost for like cars driving themselves, which I think would be nominal. Again, you could take 20% of that, so you could say $12 billion is for that, and they get 80%, and they still make $35 billion. $34 billion. But then there's a bunch of drivers that don't have jobs. That's what I'm saying. Like that's happening. Like there's a power grab going on, unquestionably in this country. It's starting. The COVID's very clear. People don't have savings. 90% of millennials don't have $5,000. Dangerous shit going on. Very, very dangerous shit for very, very powerful people. There's a culling of the young people in this country to keep them poor because they could be a threat. The Fron, Marie Antoinette, the rising up of the against the aristocracy. No one wants that has money. They want everything to benefit them because they earned it and now they want to keep it, right? Can you blame them? No. But I do blame politicians that try to espouse virtues of virtue signaling and moral, this, that, and righteous and what is just in reality. They're self-serving and just servants of very powerful people that, use race and sex, and what's more racist than that? Which brings me to a point that I want to make later on in the show. Yes, sorority member put on probation for unbecoming conservative values. Now, what the fuck did this bitch say? University of Kansas student Catherine Lauer, not relationship to Matt. Press my button. Come in. You don't have to close the doors. Other button. Take your pants off. No. I have a not Matt Lauer autograph, but I asked at some point in my life as a child for a Bryant Gumbel autograph. Bryant Gumbel, the whitest black man on the face of the planet. Excuse me. There's not enough mayonnaise on my turkey club. Thank you. Sorry, what were you saying, Wu-Tang? I was 11. It's like, hey, Andrew, like I was on the set of NBC or something for some reason. I was like, is Brian Gumbel here? Like, Katie Couric and Matt Lauer and Curry. Nothing. No, nothing. Weatherman. Fuck, Al Roker. Nope. I like a Brian Gumbel. I had Downs, Fragile X syndrome. Brian Gumbel autograph, please. That is so odd, and I have it. I still have it. I have it framed. I mean, I might blow that shit up and be like, yeah, that's what I'm about. Just have it in the foyer. Fuck yeah. Oh my god. So what did this girl say? Catherine Lauer. She was placed on probation by the college's Kappa Alpha Theta sorority. Fuck, that's long. After she was told that she made members feel uncomfortable and alarmed with her conservative social media posts. Define that. I certainly look conservative, but I'm not. I'm socially liberal, and I have very libertarian values that don't necessarily assign itself to conservatism. I do acknowledge things like unequivocal pro-choice is kind of problematic. I think of the womb as an apartment. The baby hangs out there, he lives in this neighborhood, and at the second and third trimester, based on early forced pregnancies because of complications and early cesareans and whatever, the baby can survive outside the womb in the second semester. Second trimester. What am I doing? I said semester? Sorority. Come on, can you blame me? And that's a problem to me because essentially you kill the baby outside of his apartment, right? It's infanticide, right? You can't do that once it's out of the apartment. But if you kill him in his apartment, it's all good. You're good. It's such a weird way of thinking about things. And I think it's complicated. Rape, of course. Incest, yes. Yes, but there should be there should be context should be applied, right? It shouldn't just be a blanket. Am I wrong? So there's things like that I think about that might be not liberal, and I'm okay with criticism for that. I don't care. I think it's a fair thing. I'm just using my head, just thinking, This is blanketed, I don't know. I'm just I like to just think. That's all. Shoot. I'm an idiot for thinking. I have a podcast in a area of business where it's dominated by the left. I espouse anything that's somewhat more right-leaning. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Of course, I'm original. At least I'm trying to be. I'm myself. Whether that's contrived naturally, I don't know. But I'm me. So I don't know. At issue is a social media post by Lauer from conservative pundit Candace Owens. That is one fine-ass black woman. I would hit that shit up. Tony Braxton. I was 12 years old. I was into you. Candace. I'd love to throw some cocaine down on my bed with Candace Owens. Don't stop till you're fucking numb. Just go to town. Sorry. That was contrived. That's from Departed. It's no way have I ever done anything like that before in my life. So what did she write? She wrote, Candace Owens' post. She shared it, a post from Candace Owens, who is African American, claimed Black Lives Matter, this is Candace on Twitter, Black Lives Matter is an organization of white men using the faces of dead black people to raise millions of dollars towards electing white Democrats into positions of power. She went on to say, it is the most flagrantly racist organization in America. Sure. I completely agree with her, actually. I agree with her in terms of what Black Lives Matter is. It gets all its money from white rich people that use old white Democrats and the very, very biased version of statistics to suggest that there's all this systemic racism designed to maintain power and consolidate it at the federal level and keep Democrats in power. And also espouse these virtue signaling ideas in young people that there's this horrible thing that's happening. It's not actually happening. It's happening certainly under Obama. It's like a new tactic more than it is a new reality. And it's not like, oh, we finally have progressed enough in society to address this horrible systemic racism. That's not what's happening. There is racism. There is horrible shootings and atrocities. It happens more white people have violent altercations with police than black people. 66% of all violent crime in the United States is committed by black men. That sounds racist. It's a crime statistic that's awful. I don't want that to be the case. I want to solve that and make black communities better. I want young black men to thrive and kick ass and make millions of dollars and do well and not be puppets and not, that's the way it should be. Not everyone's just a victim and they need help from the government because people are racist. Tell that to all my Jewish friends, man. They're not going around like, oh, well, I'm fucked. No. Like you guys, I have this like daydream of like a bar mitzvah going by a Black Lives Matter protest. And it's just like these hardcore gangster Hasidic Jews going by. And it's like, there's this, guy with a microphone in the park, black guy saying, we are oppressed, our skin color is the reason why we are, denied all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. The Jews had it bad, but we've had it worse. And you just have this group of Hasidic Jews go by going, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Hollywood, Wall Street, business, they're kicking ass, man. Oppressed, ostracized, anti-Semitism, Holocaust, concentration camps, Asian Americans, how about them? So then the next group of cars go by, it's just like a bunch of like ninjas, let's go really racist, a bunch of ninjas, just like Jet Li's on the car, it's like, shaking his head like, come on, man, what are you doing? Guys, no, you're being used, don't you see? What have they done for you since the 60s? Since the social welfare laws of the 1960s, board scores in Harlem went down by like 30%, whereas in Germany, the black World War II soldiers that settled there, their kids' SAT scores and standardized testing scores, whatever, are all on the same level as the white kids. You think that's not like a problem of free money and like a cultural problem of having government stipends and bureaucracy pushed into a system, basically putting people on opiates of free money and keeping them kind of like sucking on the teat. You ever notice no matter what, when your back's against the wall, you wait till the last minute, you cram for a test, it's kind of like when you do it, you get it done. You just make a decision to do it. Take away the money. Faced with drowning, homelessness, poverty, you kind of like figure it out. And then if you're failing, you keep going, and then you figure it out. It's the way it is, man. But like this easy way out of saying it's racial, or you make less money because you're a woman. How many kids have you had? 9? Well, how many years do you take off from work? In summation, 12. Why would you get paid the same? You don't have the same work experience. Like these are the fucked up things, man. It's so much easier to believe that the world's evil and that you want to be an idealist and rise up against that. Everyone should, except the narrative isn't true. So what do they do with this girl? There's a nice sorority of probably white girls that are, it's a weird thing. It's like this feigning of like, I'm offended by your posts, Sarah or Catherine. I'm offended as a upper middle class white woman. I'm offended. It's so funny how you can take offense to something and then at the same time, the same liberals can say, oh, you're not allowed to speak on a subject because you're not part of that group. But you can be offended. That doesn't make much sense to me either. I don't really understand that. Laura Lauer told Fox News, I wish we could say CNN, but it's a Fox News article, that she attempted to appeal a probation in a meeting with story advisors on October 18th, that members would not overturn the decision. I don't know what her suspension means. She can't go to the house. She has to go get like an apartment she has to live at a Super 8 for a week. What does that mean? It's so weird. It's like, if someone's being, saying things that are, if half the country agree with, and you're saying they're racist or they're inappropriate, and it's said by a black woman, it gets really confusing. It's not racist. It's just it's a social political issue that you don't agree with, and you're making it into something more. So somehow, it's a way of getting people that don't have any power to feel empowered. Taking these very superficial, very shallow characteristics of oppression and racial things, and we need to rise up. If you're part of that group, you're empowered. When you're impressed and you can say, hey, I'm part of the solution, I'm except for voting, because no one came out to vote for Hillary Clinton that went through all the protests in 2016. And it seems like that's happening again right now, that the millennials, despite the polls, are having a real hard time voting. We'll find out a few days from now, but it looks like that's the case. Apple News. I get so confused when I see this on my phone. I keep thinking it's gonna be about Macs or iPhones. Instead of a story about like iPads or something like that, there's a headline that reads, "How a grandmother became a murderer." I'm saving that for bedtime. But come on, Apple, stick with the computers. It's very confusing, the Apple news feeds. That's another thing about the media controlling information about what's read. That one might be banal, irrelevant for mutual benefaction of just entertainment. But there's a lot of shit that's filtered because it's unsafe. Like Alex Jones. Again, if he's such a clown, let people just read him. Well, what's so dangerous about it? You know what I mean? Like, what's so dangerous? Are we gonna start burning books for Fahrenheit 451? That's the temperature for you millennials that don't read. And apparently my standardized testing scores, by the way, I looked at like with the actual, I'm 100 points higher. Well, I can't be, but theoretically I'm 100 points higher. The reason why I can't be is because if I were 100 points higher, I would have been over 1,600. I'm gonna do the math there. That's right, did pretty good. But that's the multiplier. People are getting dumber, so my test scores look better now. What was I saying? I have no idea what I was saying about millennials. Millennials getting dumber, SAT scores. Something. I don't know. I could go back and look. I don't have a Jonathan here today, or Sebastian, or Carol. I have no one. I'm alone. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Let's just move on to something more fun, right? I keep Jennifer Lawrence nudes from when her account, her iCloud was hacked. I keep the whole group on my phone, and I look at them in public so that other people think that she and I used to date. And then if anyone ever says, "Is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's all right. Used to date. Just, take it easy." It's a great icebreaker. It's a great icebreaker. I could probably get him to give me his car too. Once he sees that, it's like, so I need a car. I need something. Sure. What do you need? Like, you know, the weird things people like see like that. You can really manipulate people. Dan Bilzerian allegedly like rents all his shit, even though he has money. It's all like a business, like from social media. So it's like making money by pretending that you own these things, but you're really renting them. That makes money where you could buy them. Say if he didn't have the money, he could like pretend to be rich to become rich, and then he is rich, and then he still rents because that's just the business. I can do something like that in a small microcosm. Take a picture of Jennifer Lawrence naked on my phone means that I must be important in some way or have something going for me. But like, you know, I don't want to sit here on this bus bench. Do you have a car? Yeah, I just wanted to save money on gas. Can I have your car? See, do you want to see some pictures of my ex? Thank you. I'll bring it back later. Where do you live? Can I have money for a cab? All right, enjoy the bus. You can do that. There's little things you can do. Really interesting. I was once at a cigar bar in Washington, D.C. Young black man, very, very nice guy. I was working for, he eavesdropped. I was working for FBR, Friedman Billings Ramsey, the private equity firm. And he overheard that conversation. Friends left, I hung out, waiting for my girlfriend to show up, and then we're gonna go to like a Washington Capitals game. And he just waited by himself for me to finish with my friend. He bought my bar tab and left a note saying he'd really like to talk to me sometime about private equity. And I never called him back. But you see, that's the thing. That's the thing. He did a favor for me, and I could have been completely making that up. It could have been all for my benefit, and I was waiting to hook and ladder someone else, like talking about a stock or something, right? Talking about, I've sent out to some people some discounted cash flow valuations for some companies, and some of my interpretation of the bond markets and what they look like coming into 2021. And I do this outside of work, and I like to like hear what other people's opinions are and what they think of my work. And I do this surreptitiously. I do this without like kind of using a, you know, nom de plume and just kind of like sobriquet, you know? And it's fun. I have these relationships with people that are like kind of, I don't know, higher than me, or also like competitive, you know, I like dissemination of disinformation. These little games, right? It's fun. I enjoy it, and I love to hear what people have to say. I have conversations with I've had long conversations with Bill Ackman. I've had long conversations with Noam Chomsky. One person I'm really upset that I never got to speak with, and I wouldn't. There's no point in like career climbing in this regard, but Christopher Hitchens, one of my favorite people of all time. Mr. Hitchens, one of my cats. Namesake. I would kill to put myself in a position to be able to talk to him. I would probably, if I was at a restaurant like Marcel's in Washington D.C., having like a 7-course French tasting menu, something like that, or at the bar waiting for my date. It's always the case because hoes are late. One particular hoe, my bottom bitch. It's always late. It's okay. She's dropped it gorgeous. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'd wait for hours. It's worth it. It's okay. I'd say something like, I use words that he would use, like simulacrum, in seriatim. Or I'd say something like, you're under a grave misapprehension. And I try, because people notice me. I understand that I have I'm not Brad Pitt, but I'm tall and I have a thing. Like people are like, who's that guy? I'm a little bit eccentric, extrovert. I'm really not. I'm more of an introvert, but I have like extroverted things when I'm drunk or on drugs, and it helps, I think, socially with gaining favor from people, particularly. Not necessarily good for my gander, not necessarily good for me long term. It's kind of very superficial. but it's not at the same time. It can be incredibly substantive in terms of meeting people and making connections. But in terms of like learning or like making money at face value, it can be completely worthless and a huge waste of time, unless it's within the framework of your day-to-day. You're at the restaurant with friends. It's fun. You're supposed to be there. And then you see a point, you see your contact. Oh my God, I'd love to meet him. That's Rubenstein, or that's Carl Icahn. I'd love to have a conversation with him about my interpretation of quantitative trading options right now. I have this whole thing on hidden Markov models. They have like an inverted or a reverse Markov theory, and like I want to show him something. And I mentioned something in passing, close to him, that's absolutely antithetical to one of his open positions as an activist trader, like Hertz or, he's not with Hertz anymore. But I wish I owned the bonds. Oh my God, it's gonna make so much money. But something. And I know that he'll hear it. And I'll say it in a way where people will stop talking that are in his circle because they know that it's one of his positions. And then I'll keep going. And then I'll be like, all right, guys, I'll see you later. And he'll think it's natural and I just didn't know he was there. And then they usually say like, young man, I don't agree with your position. Or they'll look at you and like, Mr. Icahn, good to see you. Or they'll give you eye contact just to see who you are and give you an in to converse with them. And then they'll say, hey, I heard you talking about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, just trying to be respectful. I just mutually disagree. And then you don't give no substance. You give no like further elaboration. And they're interested. And this is all like you have to know what you're doing. Like you have to know, like you can't just be bullshitting. You can bullshit, then eventually you have to figure out like, okay, like do I know finance? Do I know quantitative trading at all? Do I know anything about bonds? What's the is it trading a premium or a discount to par? Like you have to like kind of know, that's almost essential. Like, but you can talk your way into the conversation and learn all that later if you're a young person. Just saying these little fun, there's amazing things that have happened, great stories. There's books written on this. Some of the smartest people in the room, actually a book called The Smartest People in the Room, that people that were interested in a subject knew they had no capital. They had to integrate themselves into this society, whether it was finance or whatever. And they did so prematurely before they were ready to actually incorporate what they knew from a practical standpoint and what they were learning. They were completely not behind. They were not behind the eight ball. They were wet behind the ears. They needed years and years of experience. However, if you're tasked individually with something, someone finds you impressive and they ask you to do X. And that essentially is what work, your career is. You're not asked to be the best at everything. You're asked to be the best at like one thing. And you show some sort of like aptitude that's beyond the average. And then someone says, well, why don't you show me what you think of, then all you have to do is do really good at that one thing. Like if you gave me one company to analyze up and down, and I could look at price multiples for that, that market, that sector, and I can look at the competition, you can like blow your mind with a bunch of models and stuff from other competitors and what I think about like highs and lows in terms of the option pricing, and I can go all day long. But you gave me what you wanted. Now I narrow everything down and just focus on that. And if I didn't know nothing about how to value like what future cash flows are, if I just did it by multiples, if I could do it a bunch of different ways. But it's just a book. You just look it up online and you figure it out. Anyone can do it. You can do anything you want. So bring this back to the end of this podcast. That's the problem with what I think is essentially the politics of today. It's really dangerous to tell young people that they can't do something because of the way they look or their skin color. It's disingenuous, and it suggests that all you're doing is trying to gain favor for yourself. Don't believe in yourself, believe in me. You can't do anything about it. There's racism and I'm going to stop it. Self-empowerment makes politicians unimportant. You don't need them. Think about it. Don't need the federal government. Don't need this money, blah, blah, blah. You don't need the stimulus. You don't need these things. You just have to do things you don't want to do right away. Get another job, do that. Like it's harder, right? It's harder. Some things, yeah, there are positions where like, oh my God, but it's like, because you have to think about, okay, well, I don't have this anymore. My hours are cut. What can I do? Drive Uber, go work at like Shipt or something. I don't know, like just deliver packages. A young person, I don't know, go back to school, look at for government grants, whatever it is. I told people in the EIDL program and the PPP program, if you're an Uber driver, you can apply for these things. You just have to, like, I know Uber drivers who took $60,000 from the federal government during this crisis. They owned a fleet of cars. They had like 3 cars. Another person did not have that. They were just a driver. And then they were going to purchase 3 cars to add to their Uber system, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it because of the markets crashing, they lost their savings, their whatever. People stopped using Uber, the downturn in the economy. And they got their $10,000 cash advance from the federal government. Like all you have to do is think outside the box. And I think that's the way life is. There's this friction. Like you embrace the trouble because it like helps you propel forward. Self-pity and like that type of thing is a very malicious element that I think, going into politics, the leftist politicians are abusing that of like, feel sorry for yourself, embrace that. Life's unfair. Like, that's fucked up, man. No one that's successful would agree with you in that regard in terms of like how to get ahead. Taking politics outside of it. So if you use that in politics to get people to vote for you, like I'm the guy, because you're empowering this person to change the racist world that you live in. That's so awful, and I find it disgusting. Yeah, 55 minutes. All right, that's good. Kind of like this. Turn the side like this. I've been doing it. It's like staring at myself, talking to you, staring at you from your perspective. Kind of nice. All right, BenBen. Signing off.